tell stories where you've encountered the paranormal activity?
My family and I were passing through my hometown, and we stopped by the cemetery to check if everything was in order. It was after a strong storm warning and just a visit. While I was tidying up the graves, my son slept in the car. My husband sat with him. There was no one to leave the child. When I sat down, my son woke up and started waving his hand in the direction of the graves. "Hello, Grandma." Monuments with images he could not see, his grandma, and my mom died long before my son was born. Driving to the exit, my son kept waving to someone and saying, "Hi." My hair stood on end when he started slapping the seat next to him and telling someone, "Sit down." Before the gate, I was just afraid to turn around. My husband, who doesn't believe in all paranormal things, admitted that he saw in the rearview mirror a dark shadow in the back seat. Now I think I understand why children are not taken to the cemetery. My son is 2 years old. To save money on rent, we moved away from the center of city to a small and quiet bedroom community. Surrounded by houses, there was a yard with trees, benches, a sandbox, a couple of climbing ladders, an old iron slide, and the same swings. My daughter was 3 years old at the time, and she loved walking there. But one day, I noticed that my daughter would sometimes approach the empty, swaying swings and immediately move away from them. In response to my questions, my daughter explained that sometimes the swing was occupied by a strange girl. At first, I dismissed as nothing but fantasy, but then I paid attention to the other children. They gave way to someone on the slide, or shared their toys with someone else, or, on the contrary, they took offense and waved someone away. The other moms thought that the children were just playing together. One night, as I was leaving the kitchen, which windows overlooked the courtyard, I heard a quiet squeak from the street. I went out to the balcony, thinking that I would see a bunch of teenagers, but there was no one there. There was no wind either. The swings were swinging on their own. Then they stopped abruptly, and a moment later, I heard a distinctive thump on the iron bottom of the slide, as if someone had kicked it. 6 months later, we moved out of there. My daughter is now 10, and recently we stopped by a similar yard, and she told me that she remembered that when she was a child in the same yard, she didn't like it when a strange girl in the same clothes came into the yard. My brother passed away in 2011. My boyfriend and brother never got to know each other. In 2012, my boyfriend and I went to my mom's house to spend time together during a vacation. It was night. I was sleeping. My fiancé was lying down, playing on his phone. I dreamt about my brother. We talked about something. Joking, he laughed. I opened my eyes, smiling. I felt calm and happy that my brother was near me. I looked at my boyfriend, and his eyes were round. He asked, "Did you hear that too?" "What?" "Male laughter in the hallway." P.S. It was just the two of us and my mom in the house. One day, we were driving with a friend from one state to another. We were talking, joking around. It was fun, but we wanted to get home soon. So we decided to take a shortcut and go over a dirt road. We were driving. The forest was just like a forest. Suddenly, on the side of the road on the pass, stood and caught the car a terrible-looking man. He looked like a homeless man. We were frightened and did not stop. At home, we decided to show the tape, saying the man was from somewhere in the deep woods. He was not on the tape. The pass is there. The tape doesn't cut off, but he's not there. I don't cut the road anymore. I rented an apartment a couple years ago. I lived alone with a 1-year-old child. Strange things were happening in the apartment. The TV would turn on at night, or plates would fall in the kitchen. Once, sitting in the bathroom, heard a light knock on the bottom, then stronger, I thought, in the pipes. But from a pile of cans on the washing machine, one began to loosen and then completely fell to the floor. The final straw was when my daughter and I were sleeping and woke up to something pulling her across the bed. We moved out in the morning. We had a neighbor a long time ago. She had a hard life after the war. She told me that she was about to jump in front of a train. She was walking along the platform, and an old lady from work called out to her. The neighbor told her everything, why she came to the station and cried, and the neighbor sat with her for 2 hours, calming her down. The neighbor pulled herself together, and in the morning at work, told her that she had seen her former employee. Everyone looked at her in shock and said that she had been dead for 2 years. Our neighbor lived until she was 102 years old. I loved her very much. She was like a grandmother to me. Thanks for watching. Give it a like if you liked it. Write in the comments what creepy story happened to you. Hugs!